So, this is story time this morning, only it's a true story. My uncle, which was ahead of me, was a little distance away, and he said, Jim, we had 2A radios. He said, Jim, he said, you coming down? I said, yeah. I said, on my way. So I got out of the truck and I walked around it, kicking the tires, making sure everything was right. Something wasn't right. I don't know what it was then. I got back in the truck, shut the door, started down the other side. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. Everything was doing fine. I'm getting butterflies in my stomach. There's something wrong. I touched the brakes and the truck stopped or slowed down pretty quick. I touched them again. Okay, we're good to go. I proceeded then down off the mountain. Gravity, you know, pulls things downward. And gravity was pulling the truck forward because I'm going downhill. I'm gaining speed. I hit the brake because I had no Jake brake. I hit the foot brake and slowed down. The truck was speeding up again. I hit the brake, slowed down. Good deal. I hit the brake the third time, and it went down to the floor. And I was watching the air gauge, the air pressure, hoping and praying that it didn't go below 60 pounds of air pressure, because that's what it took for the truck to operate. If it went below that, there was no brakes at all. And the truck started to pick up speed. And I can hear the engine starting to whine because I'm in a lower gear than what the engine is revving up to. And I got on the 2A radio and I said, I've got no brakes. I said, I'm coming down. He said, Jim, he says, don't mess with me, man. I said, I'm not. I said, I've got no brakes, and I'm coming down. He said, here's what we're going to do. He said, there's nobody out here on the highway yet, because it was early in the morning, like 7 o'clock, 7:30-ish. He said, I'll slow down. You hit the back of my trailer with the front of your truck, and he said, I'll slow us both down. Good. Sounds like a plan. Let's do that. Down ahead of me, I could see his brake lights. And I'm catching up to him. Good. Oh, good. Everything's good. From out of nowhere came a car. And he came out between my uncle and I. Now he's between us. And I told him, I said, I got a problem back here. He said, yeah. He said, I see him. I said, I'm going to see if I can't go out around him. And the engine is screaming. I said, I'm going to see if I can't go out around him and pass him, get behind you. He said, okay. I pull out in the lane that's coming towards me, and I could see in the distance a school bus. It's coming up the mountain towards me, and I'm coming down toward it on his side, trying to pass his car. I said, oh, God, what am I going to do? And the engine is screaming. It's getting louder. And my first thought was, I've had a chance to live. These kids in this school bus, they haven't really lived yet. And I thought, Better me take my life than to take the lives of all those kids. I didn't know if there was anybody even on the bus. And so I swerved the truck back over in my lane. When I did that, the back of the trailer caught that car that I was trying to pass, spun him off into some yard, and I found out later that there were 3 guys in there. One guy had a broken elbow, another guy had a broken collarbone, and the guy in the back, he was just shaken up quite a bit. So when I swerved it to get in front of this car, right there, Route 30 is embedded in rocks. I mean, there's a rock cliff on one side and a rock cliff on the other side, meaning that the road was cut between the stones, between the mountain. And I thought, okay, if I can just get the truck over to the right side, which would be the passenger side, if I could get that side over in the rocks enough, maybe that would slow me down and I could still gain control and keep control. And at that time, the engine was making such a loud noise that I couldn't even hear myself think. It was really whined out, and I thought that the transmission or the engine would surely just blow apart. So I got over, and I could start to hear the rocks bang against the side of the trailer and the fender. All I could hear was a clanging and a banging. What I didn't know was in the midst of all this, there was a culvert that was there. And a passenger front steering tire hit that culvert. It went down into the culvert, and then it shot upward, straight up over the rock cliff that the road was dug in. And the trailer followed it. Now the tractor and the trailer is standing on its end with the trailer on the ground and the tractor way up in the air. I thought, now if I could just open up the driver's door and jump. At that time, I didn't know where the school bus was. I didn't know where the car was. I didn't know where my uncle was. All I knew was I needed to get out of that cab. And so I opened the door. And I got about halfway out. And the truck rolled over on its side. Now the driver's side of the truck is on the ground, and it's sliding on the gravel that I was hauling. And I'm underneath in the cab, sliding underneath it with it. And it seemed forever. I was trying to grasp at stuff. I could feel dirt and mud being shoved up my nose into my mouth. I could feel the weeds stinging me in the face. It seemed like a long time, and then finally everything was still. It was done. It was over.